Hi everyone, this is Carrie. I hope everyone is having a great day. I just had a quick video to share. I wanted to share this little hack about getting your forms to stick onto your practice fingers and hands. So a quick story from the very beginning. When I first started getting into my nail journey, I really was interested in hard gel, but my real interest was actually building structure with hard gel. It wasn't necessarily like nail design at all. I didn't buy nail art in the very beginning. I only was buying forms, and I really was just buying forms and the gel and working on myself. I was practicing on myself. But then I ended up getting this finger. This is a red iguana finger. And so because I wanted to do other things. I type, and practicing on myself all the time wasn't really working out for me. So I wanted to try practicing on a finger. But the problem with the practicing on the finger is when you're using gel, it moves. You have to, me personally, I had to hold since forms don't stick, nothing really sticks to the silicone. You have to hold it into place. You have to hold your form into place while you're building. And then, with gel, you have to build fast. And more often than not, I either had to hold it into the light, or I had to bring the light over to my hand or to my finger. So it's a little bit temperamental. With acrylic, it's a little different because at least it starts to cure and harden as you're working. So it's not as big of a deal. I will say, if you have a different kind of form, a flimsier form that has longer tails down here, these tend to work a little bit better. I will say that these tend to work a little bit better in terms of holding on to sticking to your finger or your hands. So these ones, see, the thing is that these work a little bit better for your fingers, but I actually don't like them. For me, I just don't like these forms. But anyway, if you get them to work it, like I can get this is a pretty good, it's not completely, but it's kind of staying put right now. And it's because I have these tails down here. If you have some that are bigger like this that can attach down here, I feel like it's much easier, especially if it can attach up here. But I wanted to find like a solution where I could get my forms to just to stick to just like I would do my own finger. So I saw on the Aliana website, they have a kit. They have a kit that it says, I think it's called Forms Fix. And it's a way to get your forms just to stick to their fingers. So this is what I thought of instead of that. The Aliana hand is a beautiful hand. And if you want to get a kit from there, you should definitely run over there and check it out. And I can't remember how much the kit is, but it's basically almost the same thing, but you have to buy the sleeves and a gun, like a heat gun. But I just found these on Amazon. So what these are PVC heat shrink wrap bands. These are actually for chapstick. So I guess for the home enthusiast who wants to shrink wrap their own chapsticks, this sleeve goes around a chapstick, and then you would shrink wrap it with a heat source. And then just like a lip gloss that we often see, or a lip liner, it has that perforation right there, and you can easily just rip it off, and then it has that seam. So I thought, why don't I just buy these instead of that kit, and then use a home heat source like a blow dryer or something like that. This was a pack of 200 for $6.99. So you have to cut it down a little bit. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit here. Okay, so now I have my, so the sleeve, I like to keep this, that seam side on the, it's so hard for me to do this with gloves. I never wear gloves. Okay, so then I'm putting my finger, so actually, take your nail out first though. Take your tip out first. I always call them nails. Okay. And then let's put our finger in our sleeve. And then the trash man is here. It's hard to do this when I've got these gloves on. Oh, this is hard. Okay, so I'm trying to get this. Okay, so I wanted to save my little ring for you guys because there. Okay, so I've got it up above the top of her cuticle there, or what is this called? Anyway, it's clearing the nail. So, okay, so there we go. So now, if you have a blow dryer at home, if you even have a lighter, I know I wouldn't suggest it, but you can even take a lighter to this. The silicone is going to be fine. The silicone, it's not the heat source of a blow dryer or anything. It's not going to hurt your silicone finger or hand. But for this, the sake of this video, I have this mini heater here. It's just a little desktop heater. And I got this heater, incidentally, to do the IVX nail treatment. I have a video about it. But when you put this on, you have to put it under a heat source to let it penetrate. So that's why I have this. So I'm going to turn my little heater on and let it warm up. I got this on Amazon. And it doesn't take a whole lot of heat. Okay, so it's not even all that hot, but let's watch the magic happen. So and it slowly starts to. And then I just slowly start to, like a rotisserie chicken, there we go. And I'm gonna test it and feels pretty tight. If it doesn't feel tight enough to you, just keep it under the heat source. Feels pretty good. Okay, so it feels pretty tight to me. Feels like it's pretty good, and that's about it. So now I've got my finger. So now I'm going to put my, which way does this thing go now? There. Okay. So now I'm going to put my thing back on. And let's get a form. So there's one more thing about this. Now, of course, the form is going to stick, no problem. Okay. Okay, so the form is going to stick like this. So the form goes in here. So, so there's one more issue with this, is when you're putting, now it's going to stick no problem, like you're going to be able to put your form on no problem and it's going to stick. So there you go. And it doesn't even have to wrap all around. It's absolutely not going anywhere. It is stuck. So there's that. And then you can shrink wrap all of your fingers to build on them if you want to build with acrylic or practice your acrylic or your gel on forms. There's one thing. I also, when you're putting a form on and your nail is not necessarily, your nail is not stuck here, there's a little bit of give. So you're going to put your form underneath there and your tip is going to come up a little bit. So there's always going to be that little bit of give there. And that sometimes that bothered me. So do you see these tips are really pretty flush and snug to the nail bed here. So I have the Red Iguana primer, and I think I'm going to do my next video is I'm going to show how I use the primer on my nails to get my nails to actually stay and stick. So I think I'm going to do that one next. And then when you put your tips on, your forms on, it'll really be a simulation of, as close to a finger as possible. So, but that's it. That's the video. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. And when you are done, when you're done building and you've got your, I had one more thing to share. Do not, do you see this? This is a pinker nail. Do not put your shrink wrap on with your tip in the silicone hand already, because look, it will also melt your fingernail. I always call them fingernails, your tips. That's what happens. So just pull those out and put them back in when you're done. Okay. So then you're finished building and you've got your tip in there, and then you've built and you've designed it and you want to take a picture. You could just easily go here with these horrible gloves. I can't do anything. And then it's in the preparation, but it doesn't make that. You rip it off. And then you're ready for a picture. So that's it. And it's easy enough to just take off that quick. And this is, whoops. Well, I've been throwing this thing around a lot, but anyway, this is my hand that I've done them all too. There's one thing about these that I bought. There's one thing about these chapstick ones that I bought that I forgot to mention. These ones are for your standard size chapstick, and they will not get around your thumb. So, or at least my thumb. They won't get around my thumb. They don't fit. So you can buy, there's all different sizes on Amazon of these, and you can get a sleeve that's a wider diameter that will fit your thumb if you would like to build on your thumb. Me personally, it's not as important to build on my thumb. And look at this thumb. Ugh. Ugh. So yeah, I pretty much stay away from the thumb altogether. So yeah, that's that. So that's it. Yeah, so my next video, I will share how I glue my tips to the nail bed, and I will do that next, and then we will build everything. We will put the forms on, and then we'll build out an entire nail. So that's it. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments if you if this is interesting to you, and if you're going to try this, and if you like building on forms, and if you like hard gel or acrylic, because that was my first love. It still is, actually. So anyway, that's it, and I hope you all have a great day. Okay. Bye-bye.